Greetings, fellow traders. Bowen here. It's time for the daily market wrap for Friday, September the 4th, 2020. I hope everybody had a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. All right, let's check and see what happened here in the market today. So, monthly chart. Well, we're down 28 points today, but we were down quite a bit more earlier, right? So it's been quite a wild one. So the monthly chart is starting to turn into a red spinning top here over the upper Bollinger Band. Weekly chart is turning into a spinning top too, or turned into a spinning top too. A little bit tricky here with the big red candle. So again, there was a big MOC on the sell side. It doesn't mean we're going to flush next week. We'll take a look at the daily chart and see what's going on there. But we did fill this gap, right? That was a huge target here for us going into this week and into or at least the next couple of weeks. But you can see how volatility has really started to pick up now that this the weekly cloud has got kind of shifting here, right? It's just basically showing us that, kind of like a cycle of these movements, right? So we had that big move down, right, for the Corona crash. Now we're kind of getting into some interesting territories. We headed up into election season. So we lost the upward trend line yesterday on the daily chart, right? And it gave us a fresh trend box here. We talked about last night, we talked about on the videos that we might see momentum push down through those lows. And that was great, right? We traded short today and had fun on the day trade side. But on the swing side, right, we're back in the trend box, right? It's a big lower shadow right here. This is not an indication to to overall short the market from the way we look at it using our trend line methodology. We wanted to see higher volume, right, and a close, towards the lows, right. So we just did not see that. This is not, big selling pressure going in today. Now there's a big MOC, so anything could happen. We can gap down, but there's all sorts of other stuff too. This is just kind of look at it here on the SPY. You can see we didn't even get more volume than yesterday, right. When we go back to the Corona crash, right, you can see exactly what happened right here. Right, we broke the trend line at the time, which is right here, right. We confirmed below it here with increased volume, and then the Corona crash happened, right. So we are not in that scenario right now. So it's rough because the ranges are really big, right? But it's really at this point just kind of this all-time high frenzy is just a lot of profit taking up here, right? We got the prior all-time high levels, this 33.90 or the 33 area right here is a big level that held today, right? We lost that level, we came back above it, right? So this is kind of some important stuff that we're holding right now. We may see some chop going into this trend box area, and we'll see where we go from there, right? So we're heading into probably a volatile season here. September is typically a rough month on the market, right? October things start to get interesting, so we'll see how that goes into today. So here's the ES today, guys. It was a beautiful down move today. We caught a really nice wave down this morning on the live stream with the group. Walked through the light wave. We bought pullbacks, right? Because when things are going really fast with options, right, it's tough to chase, right? Because these little pullbacks are so volatile, especially on an expiration day. Right? They can really crush out your position more than normal, right? And so what we look for is we actually look to short on those snapbacks when we know this this thing is impulsing, right? So here's your wave one, here's your wave two, right? 3, 4, 5 to get your way down, and then right, the real question is is it going to be a short to continue to wave down? And so what we did is you put like a bear flag up here. And you kind of look, we get to the levels right here. There was some shortable opportunities in this range right here, but it was still holding, right? It was basically forming and holding multiple channels right here. And so it ended up working its way back up all the way to the 15 warp high today, which happened to correspond to the top of the channel, happened to correspond with our triangle low, which we broke down from this morning, right? And, and just kind of a major kind of congestion area right here from pre-market. So we can see that we reversed off of that. We're actually kind of ticking down a little bit here after hours, but we'll see how that holds going into I believe Sunday night. I think things will open up Sunday night, go through like 1 a.m. And then we'll see some holiday trading, I think, until 1 o'clock on Monday. And then, of course, the open market will be back on Tuesday as we have a 3-day weekend coming out. And I hope everybody does enjoy that weekend and enjoys it with family, friends, and just has a good one. Nice, relaxing weekend, Labor Day as the summer kind of wraps up here. MES, right? Same stuff as well. Pretty interesting. A couple of these bounces were pretty interesting here. I'm not going to put the levels on here right here. But if you kind of go to the drop right here, this was a nice 50% retrace, very shortable area right here for at least a little bit of a day trade type move, right? And then we finally got up to the 786, which also corresponded with that 15 orb low area, and then we moved down off of that too. So should be interesting. I really love the price action here these last couple days. I like when things are fast. It'll really be good with options if you really get the right entry on it. So that's really key, and we pointed that out to the group here today. Let's say with the Qs and just kind of see how they behaved here going into today as well. So these were one of our signs too. Again, a lot of times we look for clues and the cues, right? So again, it broke down through its levels here today. Let me actually, I didn't have the extended hours on here. So here was that bear flag coming in from yesterday. I didn't show this earlier during the lunchtime vid, but you can kind of see like we were channeling up this morning, tagged the top of that channel today, and then we broke down here very, very nicely. So it really did turn into a bear flagish type move pretty much across the board today. So a lot of good stuff here. Same thing with the IWM. I had a little bit more hope for it. It had a bigger bounce this morning, and then that flushed really, really nicely as well. Let's take a look at Apple. So Apple again was weighing pretty heavy on the market. Ended up finishing green 8 cents today. Gave a nice follow through the downside here. They tried to rally it, but it could not get over our morning channel. And then gave a nice move down and then an epic reversal. Members actually did pretty well on that one, buying a couple dips on Apple today. So good stuff there. Tesla. So Tesla almost closed right at the 420 funding secured area. It did hit it a couple times today, which was pretty funny. And we're basically back in its 15 orb range going into next week. If you look at the daily chart on Tesla, you can see big lower shut off this one. Members actually went long on this one overnight, just not believing that they were going to flush Tesla. Then they got a good gap up on that one. So a little bit of a lotto play, but they actually did really well on that going into today. So good stuff on there. A couple ones got to just keep an eye on, right? So the banks had relative strength in the morning. They also had relative strength in the afternoon. So a lot of times we see that, right? When a sector really stands out in the morning, right? Sometimes it comes back to repeat itself later in the day. So it's always good to look for setups there. So keep an eye on Bank of America. It's looking pretty strong out there. A couple of the other bank names are pretty interesting too. Another one that was kind of a standout today, and again, guys, I just want to break your heart. This is a kind of hands-off type stuff, but it did have a good day today. So Workhorse again, right? It has big candles and then flushes, big candles and flushes. So let's see what it's up to right here. I like the volume is pretty decent here today. Let's see if we can get any follow through in the next week. That would be kind of a nice trend changer for it. CCL was pretty interesting too, right? So the cruise lines were pretty weak here. I like how we have an inside day going into next week. Got really tight. Had a nice move. Well, it was starting to look nice at the open, then it reversed pretty hard, but then a good dip buy off of those today as well. And then finally, just kind of keep an eye on work. They've got earnings coming up next week. So had a rough couple days here. Had a good couple days and then a rough couple days. So we've got earnings coming up on the 9th. So this is coming up on, on the 8th. So that's coming up on Tuesday after the close. So so basically the first day next week. So let's see what work has in store. Last time, everybody expected it to go up on earnings. Had an epic run up, right? It did give a big bearish engulfing candle right before earnings. Not that that really says anything about earnings, but if it is bad, that does signal a big move down. Everybody thought with the corona and all that stuff, this is going to be great work from home, type name like Zoom and all that stuff. And it just never happened, right? So now this time they're going to come back and report again, right? Does it report stellar earnings? Or does it come back and test a couple of these lows down here? So this is definitely one to keep on the radar going into next week. So good stuff, guys. I really appreciate everybody for tuning in. It was a great week this week in the live streams with everybody. If you're new here, definitely click subscribe on YouTube. Also consider checking the description where we have links to our website and sign up for our newsletter and group with our Discord and private Twitter where we go live at the open and the close and we look at swing ideas and day trade. It's a really, really great group and an awesome newsletter. Gets you ready for the market week. So that's going to be coming a fresh one out this weekend. So pretty excited about it. So I hope everybody has a great weekend and enjoys the 3 days and stay healthy out there, and remember, risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.